Sandwich Langkawan, and I'm going to make a reaction video about some of the teachings of Sadhguru. But before that, let me first introduce who is Sadhguru. So based on my research, his real name is Jagadish Vasudev. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if my pronunciation is right. But he is also known as Sadhguru. He is an Indian where he is a multifaceted personality, and he is also a philanthropist, a spiritual leader, and an author. So now let's proceed to the first video, which is entitled Why Your Self-Confidence is Limiting You. So now let's proceed.
I often find myself in a situation where I'm not happy with myself. I compare my abilities, achievements, and even my appearance with that of others. And I think that's one reason for my low self-esteem. How do you think I can build up on my self-esteem and get rid of the self-hatred that I have?
You know, this is a good topic, and I think many of you will relate on this topic, and I believe that you will learn something from it.
Well, this self-esteem, this self-confidence, all these things unfortunately have been sold a lot on the planet. Why do you need esteem? Why do you need esteem? Esteem is because you want to be little one-up on somebody else all the time. Unfortunately, our education systems were made like this, right from kindergarten. Who is first, who is second, who is third? You want to be first. So, your sense of happiness is only when everybody is doing worse than you. What kind of life is that? Please tell me, if all of you are doing badly, I feel great because I'm number one now. No, this should go. From an early age, unfortunately, this is being imposed upon a child's mind that you have to be on top of everybody else.
This self-esteem, the only thing that it does for you is only make you happy when you are above others. You know, he is right about our education system were made like this. From the beginning, at the end of the class, there are rankings, who is first honor, second honor, and etc. And the saddest part is some of us is only happy when people that surrounds you is doing worse than you. So I want to give an particular example about this thing. And there was a child who has a relative who is pushing her to be great at school. And I'm not saying that striving at school is not good, but this particular person or this particular relative promised this child that they will go to Disneyland if she became a top one of the class. And I realized that this kind of thing should not be practiced, because imposing upon a child's mind that you have to be on the top of everybody else may affect the lives that they're living in and the way they think. So for you to be able to not spread this kind of thinking, you must first stop this in yourselves.
Suppose a mango tree wants to become like a coconut tree. It will be a horrible mango tree because with one branch like this, no mangoes will come out of this. A mango tree is like this, a coconut tree is like that. That's how it should be. This has happened because in so many ways, people have put these things into your mind, what is good, what is bad, what is high, what is low, what is up, what is down. Because of this, you have never paid attention to every aspect of life in the sense. Maybe humanities people and lawyers and what are you?
CA.
Huh?
CA.
Oh, the accounting people. You never paid attention to these things. I spend a lot of time paying attention to all kinds of creatures, ants and grasshoppers and worms and everything. If you observe, let's say an ant, or let's pick up something little more than an ant, like a grasshopper, it's easier to see him. If you look at him carefully, whoever created this grasshopper has paid as much attention to a grasshopper as they have paid to this one. Please pay attention and see. When the source of creation has given equal attention to ant and you, who the hell are you to think an ant is a lowly creature and you are some superhuman being?
Because of this attitude that has been introduced to you at the beginning, you haven't paid attention and found out for yourself. And it is also not allowing you to recognize what yourself is. And the reason of this is you have this value system that has been taught to you all over your life and all over the years. It is like you want to be something like this, something like that, but they are saying that you must be like this and you must be like that. It is also like you're putting your feet at the shoes that doesn't fit you. And because of the things that is taught to you by others, you didn't recognize what you need to know in life. You were trying to fit your shoes, but it always feels like that it doesn't fit at all. And it will not always feels right, because it's like you're putting a mask on and you're just basing on the values that it has been taught to you. You know, I also realized that way back when I talk about some stuffs with the person I always discuss these things with, it's funny that sometimes I found myself comparing my experience to their experience. I'll be like, my automatic thing will be think about things that I have done that is way better than things they have done. And I realized that our experience can be completely different. Comparing ourselves to theirs doesn't become helpful, especially in the way we think. And I realized that this thinking made us become toxic, especially in the way we compare our experience to their experience. So all of us has its own uniqueness, and we are the one who must recognize it in ourselves to realize that it is not important who has a better experience or who has a better style or something, but the most important is we all know how to see things the way it is. Now let's continue again.
See, if all the worms on this planet, right now if all of them die, all the worms, in about 12 to 18 months, all life on this planet will cease, everything, including you and me. Suppose all the insects die today, in something like 2.5 to 4 years' time, all life will cease. But if all the human beings die, the planet will flourish. Yes, we make good manure. If human beings go away, right through this building trees will grow, isn't it? Yes or no? Everything will flourish. So, who the hell is telling you that you are the most significant life? This idea that the cosmos is human-centric is a stupid idea. In this cosmos, even this solar system is a tiny speck. Tomorrow morning, if the entire solar system evaporates, nobody will notice it. That's how small it is. In that tiny speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, Bengaluru is a super microspec. In that, you are a very big person with great self-esteem.
So this is simply says that all of us need each other. And also when you're not the center of the things, life will become much easier for you. You know, we always think that life will become good or perfectly good if things are happen the way you wanted it. But think of it and look at it if, what if you're not the center of the things and things are not always happen the way you wanted it? And you accept that. You know, everything will be good and every day will become a good day. And it will be a pleasure to be still alive in this earth. You know, we must be thankful on the things that surrounds us, because these little things such as worms has a big contribute on our lives, and you know, that's amazing.
This is not a simple problem. People suffer this for their whole life without handling it. Essentially, it is just this. You have gotten yourself into a place where most human beings are in this place. You get yourself into a place where you cannot handle your own thought process and your emotion. That's all. You meet 50, 60-year-old people, they've still not figured how to handle their thought and emotion. These are basic faculties. When the hell are you going to learn how to use your thought and emotion? Suppose you're 20 years of age and you still don't know how to use your fingers, people will say you're handicapped, isn't it? You are whatever age you are and you still don't know how to use your thought and emotion, are you handicapped too?
So for me, this means that it's all in us. We need to figure things out by our own. And if we don't know how to handle our own thoughts and emotion, think of it like you're teaching your child how to use a chopsticks, even if you don't know how to use it. How would it possible to happen that your child will learn how to use chopsticks even you don't know how to use it, right? So it's all in us. We need to learn how to handle our thoughts and emotion first before we teach this to others. Now let's proceed again.
When my daughter was growing up, she grew up with me traveling all over the place. When she was 3.5 months of age, she's traveling with me alone. I'm driving all over India with her in the strapped to the seat.
So now he's talking about his daughter.
The car. So she grew up like this, and every day we're in some different family. People are wonderful, but there is a problem with the adults. The moment they see a child, they want to teach the child something that's not worked in their life.
So in this situation, we all know that some people want to teach their child something that is not work in their lives. Example of it is when a mother wants to become a nurse but didn't make it, and she wants her child to continue her journey.
You should see, this urge is so compulsive. The moment they see a child, they have to teach. They have to teach. So I made one rule, see, you can play with her as much as you want, you can talk to her, but nobody is going to teach her anything. But Sadhguru, she won't learn anything, ABC at least 1 to 3. I said, no 1 to 3. Then they said, she won't know how to count even her fingers. I don't care. If she doesn't know how to count her fingers, as long as she knows how to use her fingers, I don't care. She thinks she has 1,000,000 fingers, what's my problem? But they want to teach 1, 2, 3, ABC, Mary had a little lamb. I said, I don't care whether Mary had a lamb or no lamb. You're not going to teach her anything. So nobody taught her anything. She's all ears. Everybody treated her… because if you have nothing to teach, you have to treat somebody like your equal. So she grew up. By the time she's 2.5, 3 years of age, she can speak in terms of remembering about 700 to 800 names, all adults. She thinks they're all her friends because everybody spoke to her like she's an adult. And I would not have sent her to school, but my schedule went totally crazy and I had to put her in some school. So when she was 12, 13 years of age, one day she came back home and something that happened at school disturbed her. So she came to me and said, "You're teaching everybody so many things, you're not telling me anything." I said, "See, I don't do it unsolicited. Now that you've come, just sit down. This is all you have to know. Never look up to anybody." She looked at me like this, "What about you?" kind of thing. I said, "Especially me, because the moment you look up to me, you will miss it completely. If you look at me just the way I am, there is a lot of value to it. If you look up to me, what will you do? Probably take my picture and nail it to your wall, like you nailed so many people who are of value in this world. You just look at me for what I am, don't look up to me, and never look down on anybody. This is all. Never look up to anything, never look down on anything. If you see everything just the way it is, everything has immense value. Everybody has a place and value to their life, isn't it? Every creature has value. Because we did not realize that, how many things we have destroyed in this world.
So it starts with his daughter and him being like, one rule, don't teach her anything. Because everyone wants to impose their own ideas on what a good life should be on someone. And they're trying to help somebody. Sadhguru said, allow her or allow people to see things the way it is. This is the thing that he applied on his daughter, and it is really amazing. Let's continue again.
We think this is valuable, this is not valuable. There is nothing here that is not valuable. Everything has its value. Maybe you're not able to see it. So don't set yourself up like this, you versus the rest of the world. It's a bad competition to get into. You want to be number one on this planet. It's a horrible place. Everybody below you and you up. Is it a good place to be? I think it's a sick place. This attitude of wanting to be ahead of somebody needs to go. Well, for fun in a game or something you compete, that's different. Life is not a competition, life is not a race. If life is a race, you must get to the finish line soon. If you think life is a race, you must be at the finish line today. I can tell you how. You want to go there? No. This is not a race. This is a tremendous privilege that we have come as human beings. This means our ability to experience life is of a much larger proportion than any other creature on this planet. That is the significance of who we are. Yes? We can experience life in many more vivid ways than how an ant can experience, how a grasshopper can experience, how somebody else can experience. This is our privilege. Instead of experiencing life, we are trying to win the race. If you win the race, you should be in the crematorium today. You don't need any self-esteem. In this culture, if you don't know this, there may be people with names like this. There will be one Ramadas, one Krishna Das, one whatever. What this means is people are consciously taking the name of being a slave. Because a joyful, willing slave is a tremendous human being. Only somebody who's been enslaved by somebody is a different matter. But willingly, I'm willing to do whatever is needed in this world, is a wonderful slave, isn't it? I'm one.
You know, if you truly realize these things, that if you really looking up or down at something, you're gonna miss the real actual value of this thing, because you already placing a judgment on it. You know, it's like when you see a worm and you say, oh, it's just a stupid worm, until you realize that this thing you call stupid has a great impact on your life, and that's amazing. You just need to look at something without looking down at it for you to be able to see what's the real value of this thing. So, to summarize things up, never look up on something, never look down on anything. You just need to look at something the way it is, and you just need to look something just the way they are.